What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the We Run on Coffee podcast with Marissa and Arika. We hope you're having an amazing day as you're listening to this, and we are so freaking excited to get into today's episode. We are doing a whole new concept for you guys, so this is really fun. As you can tell, we've been rolling out a few new things. We had Marissa's Marissa Hour, which if you guys listen to it, you might be a little creeped out, but that's okay. It was really fun. And then we've also been doing what was the other one that we did? Oh, we did some unpopular opinions. We did some not hot date stories, the opposite.
Bad
first date stories, first date horror stories. And now we're going to talk about some Am I the Asshole like Reddit threads, and me and Marissa are going to debate whether the person writing is indeed the asshole in the situation or not. So this is going to be so fun. I'm really excited. I do have to say that a little bit of inspiration from this I feel like comes from Ladies and Tangents, because that is now a podcast that Marissa and I both listen to, which is super fun. And when they do these, I love it. Like, I crack up. I'm always along for the ride with it. So I'm excited for today's episode. But before we get started, I would love to know what you're drinking, Marissa.
Okay, so I accidentally woke up like 2 minutes before you started
recording.
True. So I did make a coffee though, because I told you to give me 10
girl.
minutes, and that was perfect amount of time for me to make a coffee. So I used the last of my s'mores Chobani creamer, and I just made a s'mores latte, I guess.
Cute. Okay, guess what I'm drinking?
Brown sugar
latte. You guys already know, and that's okay. And I have to say that on the last episode, if you listened, you know I tried the Chamberlain canned coffees. I tried the vanilla, and then when I got off the call, I tried the mocha. Angelo didn't like the mocha to the point where he wouldn't even finish it, which is pretty big for Angelo. Like, he'll drink anything. So he really was not a fan. And I decided after that I rated it a 5 out of 10 for the vanilla, and honestly like a 4 out of 10 for the mocha. Okay. I didn't like them that much. So I was like, everyone's hating on her, blah, blah, blah. But I kind of am too. It wasn't that good. I got to be honest.
I wish that we could give her all of the praise. But if it's not good, not good.
It's not good. It's not good to the point where I wouldn't buy it again. And if it was presented to me for free, I'm not sure if I would take one or not. And that's how you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're drinking. And we kind of caught up with you guys on last week's episode because we're filming kind of a double header. You guys know that we do that sometimes. So Marissa, I would love to know if you did anything yesterday that you want to share, or what you're looking forward to this week. I'm so excited.
Okay, so I do have a couple of updates, even though we talked yesterday.
Same.
So the first one is we went grocery shopping, and have you seen the like viral Target grillable s'mores?
No, I have not.
I know that you would hate it because it's
s'mores.
It's very chocolate heavy.
Yeah.
So it's a brownie that has a chocolate covering on top. Stop. Just give me
you guys,
second.
I wish you guys could see my face.
Okay, well, I guess we're already starting in the am I an asshole, because I'm the asshole for loving this. But anyways, I found the viral s'mores grillable brownie thingy at Target, and it's literally like a brownie in this like tin dish, and it has chocolate covering on top. It has little graham cracker squares.
That's
and
cute.
then it has marshmallows on it. And
so you make the whole thing? You just like pop it on?
Yeah, you just put it in the oven for like 6 to 8 minutes, and then it's done.
That's cute though. I
was asking Kyle if he wanted to make it last night, but neither of us were feeling like super chocolatey dessert. So we think we're going to make it tonight, but I'm not sure. But
all right, by next time you have to let us know how it goes.
I know.
No, I'm the asshole for being a hater. I'm such a hater of this thing, but I also don't like marshmallows, so all of it sounds gross to me. But that is a really cute idea, though, that you can just pop it right in there. I love that.
I've been looking for this since they came out with it in like April. So I'm so happy that I finally found it. It's been like sold out for like ages.
That's crazy.
And it's actually a funny story how I found it. So we went shopping at Target, and I found like my bachelorette party dress, which we'll get into. But I found that, and then we went to the mall and like we ate, and then we walked back out through Target because we had parked there. And then we went like continued grocery shopping and everything, and I was like, this thing is still on my mind because I saw it there on this cart that like had a worker at it. I've never seen this before. It was like a vendor cart in Target, and I was like, what the heck is going on? So I couldn't stop thinking about it. We had finally come home. Like, we were about to start making dinner. I was like, Kyle, I have to go to Target. Like, I have to go and find this thing. So I go in, and it says that there's like 5 left. And on the Target app, you can see like what aisle and everything it's in. Right. I go to that aisle, not there. I was like, okay, come on. Are you serious? I walk around the entire mall. I look in the food section. I look in like the produce section because they have like baked goods over there. I look in like all of the little areas of like the seasonal things. It's not there. And I finally walk to like the area where the cart was earlier, and I find them. There's like 5 left.
Shoot.
But on the cart it says "Do not touch."
Did you take one?
And I did touch.
I took one off. Did you take all of them or just one?
No, I just took one.
Wait, that's so funny.
It is kind of a lot. It was like $11 for this.
Wait, for
thing.
reals?
Yes, but I want to try it so bad.
That's fair, but also why? You got to let us know if it's like that good.
It's probably
like, why
not.
would I do that? Oh my God. I can't believe I never heard of this. I'm so out of the loop these days.
That's okay.
The other day, Angelo said like a little TikTok sound, and I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, it's a TikTok sound, babe. I was like, you know it's bad when I don't even know the TikTok sounds anymore. Like, that's how far out of it I am now. I feel old.
That's okay. But that's my biggest update that I'm so excited about that happened.
That's so fun.
But I got my bachelorette party dress, and that's because in like 5 days is my bachelorette party. It starts next weekend, so today's Sunday, so it starts next Saturday. So
next time we talk to you guys, she'll have an update.
I know.
Bachelorette party
so
recap.
Excited.
That'll be so cute.
I know. I can't wait. I'm so excited to see all of my friends because I haven't seen them since like June of last year, like all in one place. And I haven't seen any of them since June of last year, but I've seen some of them like sporadically since then. So I'm so excited to have them all in one place. One of them I haven't even seen since March of last year. So
damn, that's going to be so nice.
A long time.
Yes. Oh my
I can't wait.
So exciting.
I know. I can't wait.
And 4th of July weekend. It's always like my favorite kind of time of the year, personally.
I know. I do have a 4th of July party immediately after my bachelorette party ends. Though. So we're getting brunch on like the 3rd, and that's the day of the 4th of July party. So I'll be getting brunch, and then I'll be immediately going to this like 4th of July party. So I'm going to be showing up drunk on brunch. Like I'll be having like 8 mimosas in the morning. I'll show up and I'll be like, hee.
We'll be like, I've been having a weekend, y'all.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Oh my God. That's so fun. Well, I'm so excited for you. We cannot wait to hear about it.
I know. I'm so excited. Okay, what are your updates?
So I have updates too, which is crazy that we did all this in one day because we filmed yesterday, you guys. But yesterday, Angela and I went to our first ever Columbus Crew game, and it was so fun. Yay. It was so exciting. So Angela's work they got us free tickets, and then they gave us like a voucher to get food for free as well, which was like freaking awesome. I was like, Angelo, it's kind of like my job because I feel like I just get all these crazy benefits sometimes, and I'm like, what is my life? Like, what is my life? So they gave us tickets. We went and watched. Angela and I have never been to a soccer game like that before, ever. Like, the only soccer games we've been to were my little sister's. And she's like, when she was like 7 or whatever, like,
yeah, so not good,
nothing
not
real.
Good
yeah, no, just running around and cute. So it was so much fun. It was a learning experience because everything was happening around us. And I was like, Angelo, is this what it feels like to go to like an Ohio State football game if you're not a student there? Because like we were so out of it. We didn't know the chants. Everyone was standing and people were yelling things and we just did not know what was going on at all. But it was so fun. They had a hot chicken takeover in the stadium, if you're familiar and you're from Ohio. And they also had a Schmitz in there. And they had like all the good local restaurants inside the stadium. So we got to use like our little meal voucher and go get food from those places. And it was so good.
Kyle's going to be so mad when he hears that you were like buy a hot chicken takeover because literally his mom was like, the like day before he moved, his mom was like, I'm gonna take you to one last meal, like you have to like find like a place that you really want to go to, and he picked hot chicken takeover because he's like, I'll literally never have it like near us again.
Yeah, it is so good. I'm obsessed with hot chicken takeover. I'm a big fan. I gotta be honest, the one in the Crew Stadium, it wasn't as good as the real ones. It didn't even taste the same, but I just love them. They're so good. But yeah, that's kind of my biggest update from yesterday. And then also I checked something off my list as well. Marissa got her bachelorette party dress, and we got the garage cleaned to where we can park a car in it yesterday. It was so crazy. We just grinded all day. Like, we woke up, filmed the podcast right in the morning, and then from then until almost 5 p.m. I think Angela and I were just outside all day. We got the patio set up. We got some furniture out there. We're almost done with that. And we just got everything cleaned up, and it felt so freaking good. I'm like, wow, I can use all the parts of my house now. It's like a whole new world.
It's so good.
So that was exciting. And then I have a couple things I'm looking forward to this week.
Yay.
Right after this, I'm very excited because we're going to our new favorite coffee shop called Kamaria Coffee. I don't know if I shouted it out on the pod before, but I've
never heard of it. So
okay, so maybe not. It's called Kamaria. It's new in our town, and it's like it's Yemeni coffee. So I think the family that owns it are immigrants from Yemen. I could be wrong, but it appears that way. And the owners are so freaking nice. Every time we go in there, it's the same guy. And he's like, hi, how are you? The first time we went, he was like, this isn't your guys' first time, right? I was like, no, it is. And he was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming in and supporting us. Like, just so sweet. And I just love stuff like that. So going there, we have our Pride family dinner tonight that we kind of talked about in the last episode. So I'm excited for that. And of course, the grand finale, Eras Tour week. I'm going to Eras Tour in 5 days, Friday. I'm so excited.
Yay.
So that is what I'm looking forward to. And I'm just pumped. I'm about to have a good week. What do you have coming up? I don't think you told us.
Just the bachelorette party this week.
Yes, that's true.
It's kind of a little bit like slower. I guess today I have a really long meeting. I'm leading a leadership retreat through Charge. Yes. So the meeting is from 10:30 until 5, unfortunately. But I honestly love leading these meetings because I think like it just like gives me an insight into like what's kind of going on at the university level still. And I actually get to see some people that I was on exec with when I was at Bowling Green. So that's interesting.
Oh, that's really fun. Yeah.
And one of them's actually in my breakout groups, so it'll be really cool. But that's fun. And it's going to take a long time today, but that's okay. Yeah. And then this week, I'm doing a couple of Charge meetings just to kind of check in with my exec teams before I kind of leave this weekend and not talk to them for a couple of days. So I have 4 meetings this week. Whoa. I have 2 Monday, 1 Tuesday, none on Wednesday, and then 1 on Thursday. But the reason I don't have any meetings on Wednesday is because it's Owen's 24th birthday.
Yay.
And have you ever heard of the restaurant Barcelona? It's like a wine bar. She said it's her favorite restaurant, and there's one in DC. So we're going into DC on Wednesday night to get some dinner. We have a reservation at 7, and she wants it to be gold/yellow themed because 24 karat gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's like, cute. 24 karat gold, you have to come up and like show up in like all of these like shiny sparkly things. And I was like, okay, Owen, we got you. I'm not a gold girly, however. I am very much a silver girly. I'm very much a silver girly, which is, I feel like I'm the only person left in the world that's a silver girly. But here I am. And so I'm wearing like this yellow and white jumpsuit, which you've probably seen me wear before. It's like my go-to.
Wait, I've seen it. Yeah,
it's my go-to like nice outfit, I feel like. But
that's so fun.
I'm so excited.
Happy birthday, Owen.
I know, I've never been to this restaurant, and I'm just so excited because she's really been going through it lately. And I'm so excited just to be able to like have a day to just relax and like hang out and like just go to this wine bar, get a glass of wine, have a little bit of like I don't know. I don't even know what they sell, but like maybe a pasta dish or something, but it'll be good.
That will be good. That sounds really fun. Going into DC is just a fun thing. I love doing that.
It is really cool. And then Friday, I'm just driving home. Thursday, we don't have volleyball because we have a bye this week, which I don't really know why all the teams do this season, but on Thursday, I'll probably just be relaxing. We have 5 runs this week. This is the week that training goes from 4 to 5 runs.
Yeah, you got to squeeze them in.
Yeah, I think we're trying to do Monday through Thursday, so we get in 4, and then Saturday morning before I go to like my friend's house to go to the bachelorette party. Yeah. Just because Friday we're not going to be able to because we're going to have to drive home like immediately after I get off work. Yeah. But I am also working overtime this week, so
I was going to ask that. Oh my God.
It is busy. But
yes, it is.
It'll be okay.
Phew. Once you make it to the weekend, it'll probably feel so good, though, to have a whole weekend of just chilling. Like, and amazing.
I know, like, I'm not sure what your work is doing with the holiday, but we don't get Monday off. We only get Tuesday off for the actual holiday.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm not working on Monday because it's the end of my bachelorette party, but to make up the hours because, again, don't have enough PTO because of the whole wedding situation.
You're working Saturday?
No, I'm not. I'm working 12 hours on Wednesday and then 10 hours on Thursday, 10 hours on Friday, which won't be too bad because it's only a 3-day week. Yeah, and I only have to make up the hours for one day because Tuesday's a holiday.
That's nice. Oh, thank God.
And then I'll have the whole weekend off after those 3 days. So it'll be good. And then the weekend after that's our housewarming party. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get things together.
Yeah, that is really exciting. I kind of forgot you said that. But yeah, I'm also looking forward to the fact that I do have a 5-day weekend. That's because I took vacation on Friday because I want to go to the concert.
Yeah.
And it's already a half day anyway, so I only have to use a half day of vacation, which is so nice. So that's like an extra 4 hours I get to hang around. But yeah, I'm taking Friday off for the concert, Saturday, Sunday. And then we were supposed to only get Tuesday off, but we hit really good revenue numbers. So they were like, take off Monday. I'm like, okay. So everyone has a 4-day, but I have a 5-day, and I'm very, very happy. I can't wait. But I'm like, that's a long time of not working. Like, that's actually kind of crazy. It's my longest weekend.
I'm so scared, like, when I go on, like, the honeymoon, because I'm going to be gone for, like, 2.5 weeks. That's a long time. I know. And
right?
I will be so happy when that day comes around because I need a break.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to be grinding all year for your honeymoon.
Like, I know, literally.
Literally. Oh my God. All right. Well, I hope you all enjoyed catching up with us. I know that's a lot of people's favorite part of our podcast. So I
love it, at least.
I do too. We always love catching up, but we're going to dive in. I have lots of stories picked. I tried to really go from like all kinds of different perspectives, all kinds of different people, and all kinds of different stories. I think some are funny. I think some are serious. And I'm just excited to get started. And you know what? If you guys like this episode, let us know because I'll do it again. And I have a feeling I might not get to all of them. However, we're going to get started. I'm not going to tell you the titles because I feel like it's kind of a spoiler.
Okay.
And I'll just read it for what it is. So,
okay, I'm ready.
Here we go. Story number 1. My partner and I have been vegan for years. We have a 4-year-old son who eats the same things as us. So for now, we call that plant-based. We've always said that our goal will be to instill vegan values in him, but that ultimately, once he gets to the age where he starts to have more autonomy, he won't be punished for anything for choosing to consume animal products when presented with the opportunity. That will be his choice. Though, of course, it would be a secret bummer for us, LOL. That's why we refer to him as plant-based rather than vegan until he chooses that label for himself. That's the background. Okay. So the rest of our family is not vegan and generally doesn't try to be accommodating regarding that. For example, my mother-in-law insisted on throwing a birthday party for my husband, but then mentioned the morning of that she would be serving pizza, cake, and ice cream, all of which are not vegan, and that we should bring our own versions to the party if we want to eat, which wouldn't have been unreasonable except for the fact that she was throwing the party for my husband. Anyways, last week we went to a barbecue at a relative's house. Per usual, we brought our own food, veggie dogs. My son was sitting on my mother-in-law's lap with his veggie dog, and she was eating a beef hamburger. She asked if he wanted a bite of it. This is the first time I've seen her offer him meat. She wasn't trying to be sneaky about it at all. And I think by asking in front of me, she was testing the waters a bit regarding our earlier statements about him having the choice to eat animal products if he wanted to. My son asked, is it cow or veggie? We eat plenty of veggie burgers, veggie nuggets, etc., so he knows how to ask that question. My mother-in-law said, no, honey, it's beef. And he said, beef? She says, yes, it's good. Try a bite. I was sitting across the table watching my son try to process her answer, which in my opinion was a little indirect. So I offered, beef is another word for cow. My son said, cow, and put out a shocked face, which actually really surprised me because he knows most other people eat animals, but he acted like this was unheard of. My mother-in-law gave me such a dirty look. My son did not try her burger, ate a few more bites of his veggie dog, and then went off to play. My mother-in-law got up, went inside, and I didn't see her for the rest of the barbecue. Later, my father-in-law called my husband, berating him for allowing me to drive a wedge between your mother and her grandchild by making him think she is an animal killer. That I can't keep him from eating normal foods forever, and that I should apologize. We don't think I did anything wrong, but my brother-in-law texted my husband also, and he said that he thinks their parents are overreacting, but that I should not have been so specific about what beef is, and that it does seem like I was trying to throw my mother-in-law under the bus. Am I the asshole?
No!
Such a long one, but I thought this one was kind of random and funny, but really interesting. So yeah. I think that the whole thing that the family is mad about is that she said beef is another word for cow.
Okay, I need to unpack this. So from the very beginning of the story, she says that she's not going to make her son choose between like being like, I don't know, like
he can do whatever. Yeah.
Eating meat or just being vegan. And so he asks this, he's 4, right? He's young.
He's 4 years old.
So he is smart enough at this point to know how to ask the question, which he does. And first off, sorry, going back again. She throws a party for her son that doesn't eat meat.
Just doesn't accommodate at all.
Doesn't give any food, which
Literally.
you and me, as people with like food intolerances or foods that we can't eat or foods that we don't like, I hate when people aren't accommodating.
No, it sucks. And also, like, I don't know. It's just, I would never ask someone to bring their own food to my party. Like, if I'm hosting, I would expect to, like, accommodate those who need it.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
And like, I don't know, like you don't even have to do so much as like ask them before they come over. Like, I don't know. I think it's common courtesy to ask, hey, do you have any food intolerances or dietary restrictions?
Absolutely.
I think that that's very common, especially if you're the mom of the person you're throwing the party for. You should already know the answer to that.
Literally. And she does. She knew.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought this was interesting.
But then like the kid is like, is it veggie or is it cow? And then she literally gives the most vague answer. She says, it's beef. Well, what does that mean? He's 4. He doesn't know what that means.
I was like so surprised he could even ask that question. Like, I was impressed.
Yeah. And the mom, you are not an asshole. Your mother-in-law is an asshole. Sorry.
Literally. I think it's really interesting on Reddit. They tag these and they'll like tag them as not the asshole, is the asshole, needs more information. I didn't even know they did that, but this one has been officially tagged not the asshole. And
okay,
I have to agree. I do not think the mom is the asshole. I don't even think, I don't know. There's nothing about this that throws me off. I'm like,
no.
Her saying beef is another word for cow is just informing her son. She's still saying you can try it if you want, but this is what it is.
She wasn't driving any sort of wedge in between the mother-in-law and the family. She was just saying beef is another word for cow. She's educating her son. Like,
no, literally.
That's it. Whatever.
Literally crazy. So that's my first one, and we have deemed you not the asshole.
I love you, girl.
Keep doing you. Keep doing you and keep educating your son. Help him make educated decisions.
Exactly.
Okay. This one's fun. This one's giving college vibes. So I feel like this is cool. And here we go. So I, 21 male, am in university and I live in a shared house of 5 other flatmates. What does that mean? Sorry. 1M, 4F. Oh, 1 male and 4 female roommates. Got it. At the beginning of the school year, the other guy and I bought a TV and kept it in his room since he had a big room. For Halloween, we brought it downstairs to the living room to watch a horror movie, and then we never took it back upstairs. Since then, the TV has sort of become like an unspoken free use. Now, a year later, we're all about a month away from graduating, and the 2 of us sold the TV last week. We decided selling it earlier was better because we were both foreign and thought it'd be better to sell the TV earlier rather than get stuck with it later when we both were ready to move out. This, though, angered our other flatmates, especially one other flatmate, 21 female, who made a lot of snide remarks about how we sold it over the past week. Today I got upset and I spoke to her about it. And she, as a law student, kept bringing up how in divorce the items are split based on usage, not purchase. And since the 4 of them used it more than the 2 of us, we should have asked their permission before selling it. I do feel a little guilty about it because it's true, they used it more than us, and now they won't be able to use it anymore for the month that we were all just chilling here. But also it was our TV, and we barely used it anyways. Am I the asshole? I'm a little torn about it, and I kind of just want your opinions.
Okay.
So this one is so relatable if you ever went to college, though. Like, I feel this vibe. We had like a shared living room and then separate rooms, and if you put something in there, you gotta accept the fact that it's gonna get broken or you might not see it again. So it's interesting.
I think that she is so dramatic for saying that in divorce things are split by usage, not by the ownership. Shut up.
I'm so sorry. This isn't a divorce, actually.
No, literally.
Just moving
We're
out.
graduating college. That's
don't know. I think, sir, you are not
no.
the asshole. And I just think this is a little crazy. It's a little far. It's like you didn't have to put your TV there in the first place.
Yeah.
That was like a privilege that you allowed your roommates to use it for that long just because you never took it back. You don't owe them anything. You paid for it.
Yeah.
If they want to buy it off you, maybe that's different. But like,
I also don't understand because like I never had the situation that you were talking about with like, I mean, yeah, like we would put stuff in the shared space, but like we still know whose is what thing.
Right.
So
right.
like
you didn't buy it. So you know it's not yours.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, I feel like there's common courtesy. I mean, it's a TV, yeah, everybody can use it, like it's in there, it's a communal item. However,
right.
I bought it, so I get the liberty of choosing what to do with it when I move out.
Right, I know. I was like, that's a little crazy. Not the divorce, not the law student coming out.
No, literally, because she was a law student, she said, I'm about to lawyer you. That was a lot.
He also had an edit that he threw it at the end, and he said, edit. I also mentioned that we were planning to sell it the day before to the other flatmates. Although I suppose they didn't really consider it since they were surprised. We also didn't offer to have them buy it from us. It didn't come up. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit, and I thought if they did offer for the roommates to buy it, then they would have wanted to, and like that could have solved the issue. But you don't owe them anything, so I don't think you did anything wrong.
I feel like whenever I was moving out of a place, like I always asked, like, hey, does anybody want any of these things before I go and throw it out, or before I go and like take it to Goodwill, which I think that's also common courtesy, but it still doesn't make you any less of not the asshole.
You're not required to or anything. Yeah.
Whatever.
I think he's not the asshole. That's what I think.
That's what I think too.
All right. We have a little bit of a more serious one.
Oh no.
I'm excited to read, but
was he deemed an asshole or no?
He was deemed not an asshole.
Okay, good.
Okay. This one is, I'm not going to say the title, but my wife and I, 33, were invited to my sister's wedding. She had a rule about no children under the age of 10. My wife and I have a son who's 13, but he's also special needs and developmentally behind. He's in a wheelchair and fully disabled, so we have to do everything for him. He can hold sentences with you, and he does enjoy things, but he has a mind of a little bit of a younger child. We brought him along to my sister's wedding. During the wedding, our son began to get a little bit restless, in which we gave him his headphones and his iPad, and that calmed him down. At the reception, my sister pulled me aside and asked why I ignored her rule about no children. I said I didn't, and that he was old enough to attend. She then said the point of her rule was for no noise disruptions. She then pointed out that both her children missed the wedding because of their age. I told her that it was her choice and our son only acted out once, which we reacted very quickly to, and he was silent for the whole rest of the time. She was upset still and said we reacted by giving him an iPad, and that was extremely rude of him to be on his iPad during her wedding. I told her if she didn't want our son coming, she should have told us directly, because how were we supposed to assume that? She got upset and went and complained to our mom, saying that we made her angry on her special wedding day. And that's the story. I think this is like a really good one, and I feel like, I'll let you go. What do you think?
I feel like a wedding isn't the place to be ableist.
I know. No, literally. Is anywhere? No.
I feel like you're being dramatic, because maybe if you were considering that your sister, I guess, because you said that she had gone to her sister's wedding.
Yep.
If you're thinking as the bride that your sister has a special needs son, maybe you should have a conversation with her before and say, hey, can you find some care?
It's not like she didn't know.
Yeah, because you know the situation, and be like, hey, I'm just worried that he might get a little bit restless because he will be sitting here. Is there any way that you can find care? That is a completely not ableist way to come to somebody and say, hey, I'm worried that your son might have a little bit of a restless fit during the wedding. It's going to be quiet. I'd like it to stay quiet. Right. Also, you don't have to bring up my kids aren't coming to the wedding because of their age. Okay, your kids should be at your wedding. It's your wedding.
And my kid's old enough. That doesn't even prove her point, because she said kids under 10 and he's 13. So if you're going to go by an age rule, go ahead. But you can't get mad that he wasn't under the age rule. I think I definitely see both perspectives, but I do not. I think you're not the asshole person writing in. And I feel like it would have been absolutely fine for the sister to come to you and say like, hey, even if she said, I think your son might get bored. This might not be the place that he would even enjoy being. And so I would love if you guys could find like a sitter while, for the wedding, and you guys just come.
Yeah. If I was a 13-year-old kid and I didn't, if I wasn't special needs, I would be bored and I would want to throw a fit. So I can't even imagine what's going through his head. No. And also, it's rude to say that he was on an iPad during my wedding. You think the 13-year-old is going to watch anyways?
Yeah,
he doesn't care.
Literally, it's like, do you want it quiet or do you want him to pay full attention? Not everyone is going to be like all eyes,
No.
the whole time, even adults.
Like literally, adults are going to be sitting, the old people at weddings, all of your great grandparents that you invited, they're all nodding off.
They're
in the
posting
back
on
row.
Facebook. They're like on their phones, like taking pictures of you. They end up on Facebook before you even put them there.
So true. It's like, I just don't understand, especially if you're family, how you can act like that. That's your nephew and you know about his special needs. I think that you should be a little bit more, I don't know, respectful to your family.
No, for sure. And direct. Like I said, it's not like she didn't know. Like, she definitely could have thought this through before.
Yeah, for sure.
That's on you, sister. I'm so sorry, but that's on you. This one was tagged, everyone sucks.
Good.
It was tagged, everyone in this situation sucks. They're not the asshole or not the asshole.
I don't like that.
That's what it says. Okay, so I have another one. I didn't expect all of them to be like, you're not the asshole, but here we are.
Oh, well.
Okay,
maybe I'm just nice.
maybe.
I'm not being nice to the people that are actually assholes in this conversation.
True.
I'm being very mean to them.
It's true. I know. I kind of wish no, what would be cool is if both parties wrote in and told it their way, because everyone tells their side different.
Yeah.
That would be super interesting, actually. I wonder if I could find that. Okay. Different speed. Here we go with another one. A new unique perspective. So, my youngest son, in quotes, Tyler. So just for reference, I think all these are fake names. My youngest son, Tyler, 15 male, has a boyfriend, Marius, 16 male. I like Marius fine for the most part, other than the motorcycle he rides Tyler on all over perdition. I had to look up that word. Have you heard of that?
No.
Perdition? It meant something about like hell or something. I think it was kind of biblical and it meant something bad. I don't know.
Do you know, like,
never heard
the
it.
saying, like, all over hell's half acre?
No.
My mom says that. It just, like, means all over the place. And
maybe that's what he's saying.
Yeah. And, like, so I've heard other people say, like, all over creation, like, all over the place.
Oh, okay. I'm unfamiliar with the sayings. So I think that's
what
probably what he's trying to say, yeah. Other than the motorcycle he rides Tyler on all over perdition and being a little rough around the edges. But lately, in the last few weeks, he's literally always around. He comes for dinner and breakfast and stays long after he should have already gone home. He'll sometimes just be there at the house waiting for Tyler to get home from like a family outing. I could also tell it was starting to bother Tyler, and he looks like he might want a little bit of distance. Yesterday, I caught Marius after he dropped Tyler off at home from football, and I asked him what was up and why he'd been around so much lately. He kind of just shrugged and wouldn't say much. Well, I tried to explain the best that I could that we love having him around, but that maybe it'd be best if he went back to regular business hours, or that maybe Tyler could go over to his place sometimes. He got kind of a weird look on his face, and he just said, yeah, fine. This morning, I hear Tyler yelling profanities upstairs. Also, I'm just cracking up at this 15-year-old boy just yelling in his room. Like, he's like, funny. What the hell? So this morning, I hear Tyler yelling profanities upstairs. I go to investigate, and he starts in on how could I say anything like this to Marius. A little confused, I asked why he was so upset with me. Tyler confided in me that Marius recently came out to his dad, who wasn't taking it well, and he'd been avoiding going home, and I basically told him to stay away from my house. I apologize, especially since I didn't know all the details, and just that he seemed uncomfortable with all the attention. Tyler somberly told me that he was a little uncomfortable, but that he was sucking it up for Marius. Am I the asshole?
I think that it's a really
it's complicated,
like a really
right?
Tough situation.
I know.
For this one.
I think this is a really good story
because you're trying to be accommodating to your son. Like, your son is 15 and also has come out as gay and has a boyfriend that comes around. Right. So you're trying to be accommodating as, like, this was the dad that wrote in. Mm-hmm. Okay. You're trying to be accommodating as a father, but also you're trying to make sure that your son is comfortable as well, because you see, like, your son's getting a little more closed off, getting a little uncomfortable, that, like, their boyfriend's always in the space.
Right.
And that's a little bit difficult. But so you ask the person to leave, but you don't have all the information. And
exactly,
because the boyfriend had just come out, it's a rocky family situation. That's kind of why he's sticking around, which I don't think you're the asshole because you didn't have the whole situation. If you had the whole situation and still had sent Marius back to an unsafe environment, then I think you would have been an asshole. Mm-hmm. But because you didn't know that he would be getting sent back to an unsafe environment, then I think it's okay, because you can always go back on what you said.
You can rescind, yeah, for sure.
And you can say, oh, fine, please come over all of the time. And, like, maybe even if it's accommodating, you can offer him a safe place in your home to stay as well. Right. Because then he's going to feel a little bit more, I don't know, just safe.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's not the asshole. And even at the end, he said, like, Tyler told me what was going on, and, like, I apologized. Like, he immediately apologized. It's not like he was like, oh, I don't care, like, Marius is not welcome here. Like, that was never his intention, it seems like. And I feel like he definitely, you know, it's not like he's a bad person. He's clearly like, he's sorry for what he said and he didn't know the whole story. And yeah, I think he can move on from here and not be the asshole. This one, I feel like you were going to agree with this because it's exactly what you said. This one was tagged not enough information.
Yeah.
So some people are having a hard time with it, but I don't think the act of telling Marius, like, can you hang around a little bit less, makes you an asshole. You're the parent. I think that's your job. Like, you did what you needed to do and you had no idea. I think a
lot of parents do that in any sort of like teenage relationship. They're like, hey, you can only hang out with them this many days. And like, they don't want you. I was worried we were going to be going like either a stage 5 clinger kind of situation with Marius. And like, Marius wasn't going to be Marius wasn't going to be able to like take a step back. Yeah. Or I was worried we were going to have an ableist conversation and a homophobic conversation today. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is Sunday morning. I can't do this.
Like, Arika, what the hell? No, I feel like the dad's clearly like supportive and trying his best, and I just don't think you're the asshole.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I think there's ways to move on from here. You got this, dude.
I would have dragged you if you would have sent him home knowing he was unsafe, though.
No, for sure. Yeah. Okay. So many that we just don't think you guys are the assholes. Will we ever think anyone is? I don't know.
Next one, we'll see.
This one is a fun, whole different speed. I feel like there's so many just variety in all these stories, and I just love it. Like,
yeah, I like so many
random things.
Yeah, I like the serious ones because I think it gives like all of the listeners a little bit more insight into like what we think our morals are, or, like what our values are in people. But also, I really like the funny ones because I can just make fun of them.
Literally. Okay, this one's a little bit longer of a story, but it's good. So here we go. I, 26 female, have a friend, 25 female, who I met in college. And although losing touch for a bit after college, I moved to the same town as her 6 months ago for work, and we've hung out quite a bit since then. I have kind of integrated into her friend group, 5 other girls, not including us, so there's 7 of them. Although I'm not as close with them as they are with each other, which makes sense seeing as how they've known each other for a bit longer. Okay. I feel like that's a little confusing, but here we go. I was recently on a first date with a woman that I've liked for a bit, also 27 female. We were having coffee at a cafe, and all of a sudden my friend walks up and says hi. Not a big deal. I know she comes here a lot, and I introduced them. My friend is super nice to my date. At this point, I hadn't really told my friend that this was a date. She knows I've dated women in the past, but I wasn't expecting her to realize this was a date because it very well could have just been 2 friends hanging out. And then she asks if she can join us and starts to pull up a chair. My date is visibly thrown off by this, and as am I. And so I say, oh, I'm sorry, but my date's name and I are on a date right now. I'll see you later, though. My friend says, oh, I don't mind, and sits down. I reiterate more clearly. I'd love to hang out another time, but right now I'd like it for it to just be date's name and I. She says okay and leaves. I thought that was the end of it. Not a big deal. I don't expect her to automatically know who I am or am not on a date with. Whatever. I get a call from a different girl in the friend group that night who tells me that my friend called her and was pissed off about earlier. So I immediately call my friend and ask if we could just talk about it. She says it was rude of me to brush her off. It wouldn't have been a big deal to join us, and her other gay friend lets her hang out with him and his boyfriend all the time. This friend is not a part of the group. I've never met him. This gets to me a little bit because I feel like the two situations are only being compared because her friend and I are both not straight. I tell her that because it was a date, it's different, and that she can't expect to join me on my first dates. She keeps arguing, and I finally get fed up and snap at her. Be fucking honest. If I was on a date with a guy, would you have taken no for an answer and not had a problem? And then I hung up. She's not talked to me since then, but she told the entire friend group and they are now split. I know this because the friend who first told me that she was pissed off, as well as another girl, messaged me individually to let me know what was going on and that they're really sorry about what happened. The messages from the people on my friends, maybe former friend, I don't know, on my friend's side are making me second guess myself. I do get that I snapped on her on the phone and was rude at the end of our conversation, but I don't think I'm wrong for not wanting her to join us. But am I the asshole for the way I behaved at the end of our conversation? That is the end.
Okay, so
a lot to unpack here.
I think that okay, so I'm going to the portion of where she said that she hangs out with her gay friend and his boyfriend all the time. Yep. That's fine. You can be friends and hang out with a couple This is a first date. Leave me alone.
Literally, like just walks up. She's like, oh, I don't mind.
I don't mind. Like, I'm on a date. I do. I'm trying to kiss this girl at the end of the day.
No, literally, like, I'm trying to take her home. Do you mind? Can you get out of here? Like,
yeah.
You're crushing my game.
No, literally. I'm just so confused. Like, what made you think that you had the right to sit down and join my date? This isn't. I was like convinced throughout the story that the friend, the one that was like trying to join the date, I felt like she was gonna be like has a secret crush on the girl that was on the date.
That would be good.
Maybe she does, and that's why she was like, no, it's fine. I'll sit here because I want you to think about me when you're on dates. Like, literally. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's what was happening, and that's what like made her think it was okay. And I think you are totally okay to say, be fucking honest. Would you have sat down if I was on a date with a man? That is completely okay because you're kind of calling out and seeing, like, gauging how safe you feel in this relationship or this friendship. And again, going back to the last story, because you have to gauge your safeness in every relationship when you try and come out as anything other than straight.
Yeah, no, for sure. She also provided an update that I want to read you guys because I feel like this helps. So here's the edit/update. I love gauging your thoughts before I give you the update, by the way. I think it's really fun. But anyways, okay. So the two girls who reached out and kind of sided with me just let me know that in the last few hours, my friend's been saying stuff that heavily implies that she thinks I'm not actually bisexual and I'm actually just straight. So I guess that explains a lot of it. They were obviously not okay with this, as one of the girls is also bisexual and has a boyfriend. They both left the group chat and still want to be friends with me. The other people in our group chat have said nothing to me, and honestly, I don't need the drama. It sucks to realize a friend of mine felt this way about me for years, but I'm glad I at least know now what was up.
Yeah, that's a like really big conversation in the LGBTQ plus community because like there's a really like big stigma of like bisexual erasure in that whole thing, because if you're in a straight passing relationship or you are straight passing, you're just going to kind of be pushed aside. So I think that it's really important that her friends did come to her and say like, hey, we don't really think like that. Not that they came to her, like they let her be aware that her friend was kind of erasing her identity. Yeah.
And they were also like, we're not okay with this. Like, we're sorry.
Yeah. I think your friend's the asshole. I think you're good.
You're good, sister. Yeah. I think this is what I think is. So first of all, I want to say, like, I like that she said, am I the asshole for the way I behaved at the end of the conversation? She wasn't asking about anything else. She was like, I feel like she was confident in what happened and that she said, don't sit with me on this date. And she didn't even ask if she was the asshole for that, which I respect because absolutely, it's not a question. Like, no, that's your choice. So I appreciate that she said that. And I don't think she's the asshole, but also I feel like the fact that she said, like, am I the asshole for the way I behaved? And like, I don't want to be. She was basically saying, like, I don't want to be rude. Like, that's not the kind of person I am or want to be. And I feel like I respect that. And you even asking that shows, like, your morals.
Yeah, I think that...
Girl who wrote this, I'm talking to you.
I think it was a rude sentence, but I don't think that it made you rude in that moment.
Person. Yeah. No,
because... For sure. You needed to get that feeling across, and obviously,
and you're upset. Yeah.
And obviously, based off of the update, it was an important question for her because obviously she was already trying to erase your sexuality, so it didn't even matter. Right.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, not the asshole.
She's good. What did Reddit tag her as?
Reddit tagged her as not the asshole.
Oh, good.
All right, I have a short one, less serious, a little bit fun. Okay. I, 28 male, and my husband, also 28 male, went to a local burger place this weekend for lunch after running some errands. He didn't want any fries, just a cheeseburger and a milkshake. Marissa's already laughing, and me too. I got a combo meal with fries and a soda. I asked him if he's sure he doesn't want any fries, and he says yes. We order, I pay, and we sit down. Once we're called up for our food and I come back with it, he almost instantly grabs one of my fries. I told him to knock it off, and he kept taking fries and telling me he was only taking a few. I get fed up. I went up to the counter and I paid for a small fry, and then I sat back down. This was all done pretty abruptly and in silence. He muttered, Jesus, and asked me why I couldn't have just shared. I told him because I wanted the amount of fries in a large fry, and he insisted it was fine because he was only taking a couple. But I knew from past experience, about 50% of the time, he'd clear half my plate. I didn't talk to him the entire car ride home, and now he's even angrier at me for giving him the cold shoulder. Am I the asshole for not sharing my fries?
I think you are the asshole, because just share with your partner.
And the beginning of it, or like the title, is a different question, and it's, am I the asshole for buying my husband fries?
No.
His own fries. So I thought this was so funny. I think a little. I feel like half and half. I feel like if you would have just like, he ate some of your fries, you went to the counter and bought another one for yourself, and then you were like, I just bought myself another fry because I'm like still hungry. Fine. But the way you did it was so passive aggressive. Like silently walk up, buy the fries, put them down in front of my partner. Like, here you go. You know, like that's a little rude. Like the whole situation could have happened in a way that you weren't the asshole, but I think you kind of were.
I think it's so funny because I think Kyle wrote that story and lied about having a 28 male partner, because that literally has happened to us so many times. Because he'll ask me, or like we'll be like getting food somewhere and he's like, well, are you sure you don't want this? Are you sure you don't want this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I'll eat his food and he's literally, like, get out of my food.
Stop.
But
that's so funny.
I think that you should just be willing to share with your partner, and then if they decide that they want it later, you should just buy it for them.
There you go. I would say, oh, it's so hard.
I would say you're the asshole for giving him a cold shoulder, just because I think that you should just be willing to share.
For the question, am I the asshole for buying my husband his own fries? I think no. Yeah. And for am I the asshole for not sharing my fries? I think no. But if you are asking, that's all you asked. So that's really making you want to not be the asshole. But if you asked us, am I the asshole for the way that I did this? I would say yes. See, like you're so like rude.
I know that like you are kind of being the asshole, but I also think it's so funny.
No, it's so funny. I have to say I have related to this in the past, but not anymore, because Angela and I are so at the point where like we just get our own. We don't even offer to share with each other. It's like we be hungry bitches out here.
Yeah. Well, I literally will steal Kyle's. Anytime me and Kyle get food, like I know you and Angela do this too, like we'll try a bite of each other's.
Oh, absolutely.
And then if I end up liking his more, I'm gonna have a couple more bites. I need
some more bites. Literally. No, that's so funny. That one I think was like my favorite one. Yeah. I feel like it's just so relatable and hilarious.
Yeah, that one was a good one. I liked it.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Background. This person gives a little background and then the story. The background sentence says, my father, 66 male, suddenly passed away in February. It's been a big shock and an adjustment for everyone. Here's the story. My now husband, 35 male, proposed on my 33 female birthday back in March. Okay, so 1 month after the dad passed away. He'd already talked to my mom and dad about it. I'm not a big fan of parties, so husband and I decided to do a small celebration for our engagement, have a nice meal at a fancy hotel, and everyone can just dress up. The more we planned and the more we talked about it, we thought it would be fun to just get married. We have been together for coming up on 10 years, and neither of us wanted a big wedding, so we thought a small surprise wedding would suit us, especially with my dad passing away. I just didn't want a traditional big white wedding. We invited 10 people, my mom, my sister, and her partner, his mom, and I'm saying mom because they say mom, his mom, dad, brother, his partner, and daughter. We also invited our best friends who are in a relationship with each other. All goes to plan. Everyone arrives and they're escorted into our reserved room, so they all think it's the engagement party, and they see a sign saying, welcome to the wedding of husband and OP. What is OP? Okay, I don't know. I guess it's an acronym. Okay. Everyone is surprised. Our officiant gets people in places. Husband and I walk in together. We get married. Both moms sign the marriage certificate and we go for our sit-down meal. Everyone seemed really happy at the time. People were laughing, saying that they should have expected this from us. We had a photographer there to catch their reaction and the ceremony and post pictures afterwards. We went away locally for a small honeymoon. When we had gotten back, both my mom and his mom have pulled us aside separately to say that they were so disappointed in us, that we had taken away their opportunity to be with us when we chose a venue and did wedding planning things. They are both especially upset they never came wedding dress shopping with me, which I ironically didn't do because I bought an emerald green 1950s bodygon pencil dress online. It was the first and only dress I tried on. Doesn't that sound so cute? I was thinking, like, that's cool. And she says, am I the asshole for taking away everyone's chances to be involved with the wedding?
No, you're 33. You can make your own decision.
True. Good point. First of all, I just have to say, if anyone's listening and you read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, her dress is giving Evelyn Hugo vibes. The emerald green 1950s bodygon. I'm like, where's the picture? We want to see.
Yeah, I also
looked up.
I looked up what OP means, and it means original poster. So she was just referring to herself in that.
Thank you. I'm so not a Reddit girly.
Me
Gotta
neither.
catch up on my little acronyms. Okay. So yes, what do you think? You think no, she's not the asshole.
I don't think that she is because, like I said, she's 33. She can make her own decisions. And also, the wedding is supposed to be your day and nobody else's, and you make all of the decisions. So if you and your husband now did not want a big wedding, your father just passed away a month prior, and
Literally.
you're still grieving, and the family is still grieving. Is it really the best time to host a big party just doing everything about yourself? I think that you're totally fine. And I think that anything that you want to do for your wedding, anybody, is perfect.
Absolutely. I fully agree. I don't think that you're the asshole at all. And also, it doesn't really sound like her and her husband were asking for anything. They weren't asking if anyone to like help them or like pay. Like, they took care of it.
They didn't
was
even
their thing.
Like let them know that it was a wedding, so it's not even like they were expecting gifts or money either.
No, exactly. And that's actually kind of, I feel like, the beauty of it too. It's like they really just want to do this. And actually, I have like kind of personal experience. I didn't end up going, but my mom's like best friend did this. She invited everyone over for a cookout, and it was like a luau cookout, and then they just got married, and everyone was shocked. But I know that a struggle for them was like, she has kind of a different relationship with her sister, and she was worried her sister wouldn't come if she thought it was just a cookout. So that was really interesting. But I think it's a really cool idea. I feel like I really respect people that do this. I don't know. I think it's really awesome.
I think it could end up being like even more special than like a big wedding, because like people come and they're like so like unprepared, I guess, for it to be like this big ordeal. And then they show up and they're like, oh my God, you're getting married. This is so cool. And like they just have like more genuine reactions, I guess.
And the people that do show up, are like the people that would just show up for a dinner with you. Like, legitimately. I think
it was so intimate.
Crazy.
It was only 10 people, and it was the people that were closest to you. So
yeah. You're not the asshole, girl.
No. Did Reddit agree?
Reddit agrees.
Yay.
Not the asshole.
Good.
I love that one. And I also I'm just dying to see this emerald green 1950s dress. Like, what the hell, girl? Give us a picture.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually have one story left. So somehow perfectly did this again. No one can stop us.
No.
All right. Here we go. This one, I'm going to give a little bit of a trigger warning for terminal illnesses. Okay. I, male, 41, am a single dad to my daughter, 14. Her mom couldn't care less about our daughter, so it's always just been my daughter and I. Almost 2 years ago, my daughter was diagnosed with cancer at first. At first it was leukemia, but it eventually spread to her brain. Watching her go through this made me realize how strong and tough my daughter is. On the 9th, my daughter unexpectedly got admitted to the hospital. Her birthday was the next day, and she told me that she just wanted to wait until she got home to open her presents and actually celebrate her birthday. So she and I ended up eating cake and watching movies in her hospital room for her actual birthday. After that, her health declined very rapidly, and a week later, on the 17th, she passed away. I had all her presents ready in the recliner that she always sits in for when she came home. That never happened, so they've just been sitting there. My family had also brought over some gifts for her, mostly simple things they knew she would like clothes and blankets, water bottles, etc. And I also got her an iPad as well as a few small things. This morning, my mom, dad, and sister came over to my house for the first time since she passed away. We were going to make like a little picture board and a slideshow for her funeral. After we started working on both, my sister noticed all the presents and asked if my daughter had opened them. I explained that she wanted to wait until she got home to celebrate and open her presents, and I just haven't felt right moving them or putting them away yet. My sister and my mom said we should just give them to my sister's twin daughters who are turning 13 in 2 weeks. I said I wouldn't feel comfortable knowing that my nieces are using gifts that were meant for my daughter. And if I was to do anything with the gifts, I'd really like to donate the ones I can to the children's hospital. My mom and my sister argued that it's right to just keep the gifts in the family rather than going to complete strangers. Am I just being selfish? That's all.
I think
this is a big, crazy one.
It's really difficult because at the end of the day, again, you are still grieving like in the last one.
Mm-hmm. And how would any of us know? Like, I wouldn't know how that feels at all.
No. And you bought the gifts specifically for your daughter. Your daughter might have even like kind of known that it was like the end of her time here. Mm-hmm. And that's why she said, hey, I don't want to
I'm not ready to open it. Yeah. That's true.
She knew she wasn't going to be able to use them for long, maybe. Mm-hmm. And so she was like, no, it's okay. We can just spend our time together instead of me getting all of these elaborate gifts and stuff. And so maybe that's what she had chosen. And I don't think that you're obligated to give the gifts to anybody in your family. I think it'd be totally okay even if you just returned them. But yeah, I think that it's more admirable to donate them to a children's hospital to more kids that are like your daughter and kind of like give a legacy of your daughter and maybe even give it to them in her name or something rather than just giving it to these two twin sisters that happen to be in your family.
In your family, right. I think you're absolutely not the asshole. I don't even really think it's a question. Yeah. And the title of this, because it wasn't included in the story, is Am I the Asshole for Not Wanting to Keep Gifts in the Family That Were Presents for My Daughter?
I don't think that...
you're not.
I don't think anybody could ever be an asshole for not wanting to keep gifts in the family.
No. It's kind of actually weird that, like, to me, that's something I would never ask.
I think that
I would never ask that to a family member.
I think that the mother of the kids is selfish and wants to give her kids new gifts.
The iPad.
And
literally.
Is kind of using this tragedy to be like, look at what I bought you.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I think you're not the asshole. It's not a question. Like, we don't even need to talk about it. Like, that's just not the case. But I also thought it was so cool that he was like, or donate them to the children's hospital, because I was like, wow, I didn't even think of that until he said that in the story. And I was like, wow, that is actually like a beautiful idea. I love that.
I think that you should do that. I think that if you didn't do that, then you would be an asshole.
Yeah, you would be regretting it. But I feel like that sounds like it's what he wants to do and should obviously do. And you're not the asshole. And we're sorry for your loss. And this is like such a somber, sad story to end on. But I felt like it was a good one to talk about because it's just interesting. I don't know. We heard so many freaking perspectives today, from buying my husband his own fries to this to like bombing someone on their first date. Who does that? No, like literally. What the heck are people?
We only deemed one person an asshole, and it was because of the fry situation. So
literally, and
if you guys are out there and you are rude about fries, you will be an asshole in our eyes.
The weird thing is that I read all these and thought about them and like had time to ruminate before I said them to you, and I like thought he was the or didn't think he was the asshole, and then I got here and I was like, no, you kind of are. Like, that's
the fry guy.
Yeah, the fry guy. I deemed everyone in my brain was like, none of these people are. But I'm so glad that we had at least one. Yeah. Just share with your husband. He's your husband. Don't you love him?
Share.
You know? It's like cute. And you know what? Next time, just order more fries at the beginning. Because he said 50% of the time this happens. So, just order 2 large fries. You don't have to say it's for him. Just tell him you're really hungry. And then when he eats half, you won't feel so bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. Just learn to work with him.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, I'm so glad
that
we did this episode, because I thought that was so funny and fun. And I literally didn't even like scratch the surface of the Reddit thread. Hustle. I mean, there's like a bajillion million responses on there. So we had a lot of options, and I was so excited because they were fun.
We could definitely do it again another time.
Absolutely.
I think that this was a great weekend for all of our episodes, because I had one that you didn't have to prepare anything for.
Exactly.
And then you had one I didn't have to prepare anything for. And I think I really like that.
It made it nice and fun for us. Yeah. And I also remembered that on last week's episode, if you guys listened, we said that at the end we would shout out the new countries, and we didn't. So I'm going to pull them up right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to quickly rattle them off because we're growing so much. We have so many, and I'm going to be really fast. I want to make sure we talk to everyone. So if you're listening, thank you. Okay, here we go. All of our listeners are from the United States, the United Kingdom, Mexico, Canada, Taiwan, Brazil, Australia, Netherlands, Germany, Chile, South Africa, Spain, Peru, France, and Denmark. Thank you guys so much. I'm freaking out. We love you guys. We love when a new country pops up on here. You guys don't even know. We text each other so fast. We're like, new country. Who is it? I'm so excited. And it is like, it's Christmas morning every time we open it.
It is.
It's so much fun.
It just feels like surreal. Like all those people are listening to us. Like I don't even know where Denmark is on a map.
No, literally. I'm like, someone in the UK, like South Africa, Australia. And like always wanted to go to Australia. Oh my God. It's so cool. So thank you for listening. And like we always tell you, reach out to us.
Yeah.
And chat with us. Tell us
if
a story.
you have a story about Are You the Asshole, please send it to us.
Submit it. Yes,
because
I'm
we
actually
would
going to add
love
that to Instagram
to react
right after this. So if you are listening today, you can go to our Instagram story and look at the highlights, and you can submit your stories there, and we will see them all.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys for listening. We'll wrap it up here for today's episode. Rate us 5 stars. Follow us where you get your podcasts. You guys know the drill. Follow us on Instagram at We Run on Coffee. And with all of that, I'm Arika.
And I'm Marissa.
And we run on coffee.
Bye.
Bye.